Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host. Want to go again? Okay. This is why we wear headphones. Anyways, welcome back. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And tonight we have a special guest. You know how it works. This show is we bring in a guest every Sunday to give you guys a little taste of life, a little taste of diversity. Everybody has their story, so this is what we do. We help share the story, get the word out. Super excited to spend this hour with our guest today. He's going to introduce himself in a few minutes, but before we get into that, Kyle, you know what time it is.
So our sponsor is snjradio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And NSGW, Arrowhead Parlor 110, Native Sons of the Golden West, preserving the past, building the future.
Yeah, if you guys are curious about the Native Sons of the Golden West, just hit us up, give us a call. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Maybe when we come back on break, we'll touch up on it. We should probably do like a little promo for the Native Sons, but we'll get into it. But without further ado, we're going to let our guest introduce himself, and we'll just get straight into it. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody. My name is Vincent Vaughn Harrington. I'm a model, actor, and future psychiatrist, native of San Bernardino.
There we go.
So you know how we love the IE, we love the IE people, and just we support it all, right? Because we're all born and raised in the IE. So this is another awesome guy, and he's been on the map. And we're trying to expose IE, so this is just another opportunity to get this all going. But I don't know too much about you, actually, so this is going to be a good time for me.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
Let's do it.
And if you have any questions for us, we just go back and forth. This is how it works. This is the show where we just do whatever works, right? Yeah. Okay, so your first thing that you said was model, right?
Yes, sir. That's me.
How long have you been modeling for?
So I've been modeling for over a decade now. So
over a decade.
I think I'm on year 12. Yeah, maybe a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And how did that start?
So actually, it started in college. So eventually, after I graduated from Cajon High School, I left and I went to Atlanta and got accepted into Morehouse College. And while I was there, people started, they had like a little, urban modeling scene, and they started telling me I should model. And I thought everybody was just kind of pulling my leg. And eventually it came around to when they started talking numbers to me of what you could make in modeling. I was like, oh, wait. So y'all said I could model. So from there, I just started dedicating some time to it. It actually kind of took off for me because people said I favored Tyson Beckford, who's a famous male model. Yeah. Okay. And so I got the nickname in Atlanta, Baby Tyson.
Baby Tyson. Yeah. Hey, that's not a bad.
It wasn't a bad name. Shout out to Tyson. So I kind of just ran with it, and it ended up landing me at a major agency in New York at the time.
Did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them?
So I basically, what happened was I just started networking. At the time, it was I believe it was models.com or something that was the platform for this is back before Instagram and everything. Yeah. So it was easier to connect with people on the social sites. So I started just reaching out, in the genuine reach out, I just was like, oh, I like your work, leave a little comment of affirmation on their profile. And eventually I came across my old manager, and he was in New York. And he said, hey, if you want to do this full time and you want to take it for real, you got to move to New York. I'm not going to lie, that was not enticing to me. I was like, wait.
There was no motivation?
Yeah, I was like, don't it snow for 6 months out of the year in New York? I was like, yeah, no, I'm a Southern California kid. I was like,
it gets cold at 60 degrees.
Yeah, they were there. And I was like, I always heard it's brutal cold, it's painful cold. But I you know what, the dream superseded the environment and the climate. So I moved to New York, and he got me prepped. 6 months after moving to New York, I was signed to a major agency, and
dang, 6 months.
6 months. It was a grueling 6 months. Nothing went as planned. I had a living situation set up. It fell through. I ended up a little bit homeless. I was kind of like
In New York?
Yeah, in New York. So I had some nights sleeping in at Union Station. Yeah, down on 42nd, sleeping on some trains, just making it work. You know, I stayed in the gym at the time. Planet Fitness, I think, was brand new, so it was 24 hours. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be in the gym, which it worked because you know I was supposed to be a model. So I was like, you know, I just stayed up doing sets, kind of like dipped off in the shower, took a little nap. You know, like, you know, I made it work.
Did you have a job?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna give my opinion on it because I don't want to shoot it down. But I was actually I worked at Abercrombie. I worked at every retail chain that I possibly could find. So I worked at Abercrombie on Fifth Ave. I worked at Hollister on Fifth Ave.
Okay.
I worked at Aeropostale over at 42nd Times Square. But
Was there a reason for that?
yeah, well, it was just so in New York, it's all about looks. You know,
Right.
like a fashion scene. So if you're a fashion model or anything, like it's easy to get in the door and people want that look at their store. So, you know, that was just like what I do. It was like the easiest thing to get in. All my friends they worked at Hollister and Abercrombie during high school. I saw that they had like a major store. So I just went and applied and they were like, do you model? And I was like, yeah, I think I do. yeah. And
I'm working on it.
Yeah. I'm working on it. Y'all don't
It's in
even
the
know about
process.
Yeah.
You haven't
So they-
seen me on magazines yet?
Right.
It's
You
like
don't know who I
poster- Your
am.
poster's literally right there. Like,
Yeah.
like you're a Hollister model working at Hollister. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So, no, I got in and I was doing that.
So it's just a lot of manifesting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know what it was, and I inspire anybody, or I inspire anybody. That wrong way of saying that. My inspiration and what I would give to people to try to inspire them through tough times is like I remember there was some days I was just walking down the street in New York broke. Like my diet was like everybody thought I liked Oreos and peanut butter. But because I was in the gym, I knew like peanut butter was like a great source of like protein, and then Oreos was something sweet to like take away the bitterness of the peanut butter. So I just like would always eat Oreos and peanut butter. They were like super cheap.
That was your diet?
Yeah, that was my diet. It was a horrible diet. It was a horrible diet. I don't recommend it for anybody. Don't do that. But
It's better than ice.
Right. But when I was walking down the street, every step I took, I told myself I'm getting closer to my goal. Like and just keep taking the step, one foot in front of the other. It may be painful, it may be stressful, it may be mentally challenging. Just keep taking that one step in front of the next until you get to where you want to be. So yeah, that's how I kind of overcame that situation.
And you said it took about 6 months. Well, I mean, that's to like get you in like in a big.
Just to get signed.
Just to get signed, yeah.
And that's a lot of things that people don't know about the industry. Getting signed is like half the battle. Like once you get signed, you have a very small time window to actually book a job before you kind of fall to the wayside of that agency because it's a business. So if you come in, you're a brand. And you're sitting on their board, you're taking up space. You know, it costs to be hosted on their website. It costs to be, you know, for your comp cards and everything. And you're not making money. Well, you know what? They're going to focus on the guy or the lady that is making money, you know. So luckily for me, like right out the gate, my first month, I booked Givenchy's fashion show. And it's a major brand. And at the time, it was a brand that Jay-Z and Kanye West and all the likes were supporting. So I got flown to Paris. Got to walk on the show. I never forget. I hit the corner. I came out, and Jay-Z and Beyonce were sitting like right in front of me, like down the runway, because the runway was like it wasn't a straight one for this one. They did like you went straight. You had to turn left, turn right, walk around, and come all the way back around. It was like a big circle, and they were like just sitting right there, and I was like. I don't know how to feel about this. I'm like Jay-Z and Beyonce are right there. It's
all right,
crazy.
left foot, right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Just one foot. I know how to walk, right? Yeah.
Was it like? Would you say you had like imposter syndrome?
You know what? Not imposter syndrome. Just trying to understand what it was that I was involved in. Which honestly, I still to this day feel like I felt miserably because like. It's like you look at the kids who are celebrities, but their parents were celebrities, you know. So they had somebody guiding them, walking them through that process, you know. Where I'm from San Bernardino, you know. My fashion sense was Walmart. like, my parents didn't have a lot of money, and they weren't about like my parents have never been people who are big on brand names and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's like, hey,
you rock the
these
and
ain't
one.
you know, they're not your clothes ain't falling off. You ain't got no holes in your sock. You're good. So you know, So it was different for me, you know, like, okay, now I need to know these designer brands, and I have to know how to style myself, because I can't just
Yeah.
wear Walmart and
Yeah,
be walking
you
around the
can't just
fast
put
food
those on,
industry. Yeah, I mean, no shots at Walmart, but it's not. There's
just
a difference between the high fashion, and there's a difference between commercial, and it's
Right.
kind of like, I know, although fashion sense has changed in a lot of the workplaces, but still, like, if you were a lawyer, you wouldn't walk into the courtroom wearing, jeans and Air Force Ones and a
Yeah.
baseball cap. The judge would look at you like you were crazy.
Yeah.
Like, go
Leave
get
my
your suit
courtroom,
on. Yeah,
come
yeah,
back when you dress appropriately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you know how to
Yeah.
act. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just about like getting up to the tempo.
So you said you've been modeling for about 12 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Going on 12 years. Has the industry changed at all, like
Oh.
since you started till now?
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad to pass the torch to the new generation, because there's so much more involved in it. Like, when I was involved, social media wasn't like the thing. Like, there was no such thing as a Instagram model or an influencer. That wasn't a term. Now it's weeded in. Like, you can't. I'm not gonna say you can't be a model without being an influencer, but it is just heavily, and it makes it hard on your career if you don't have that influencer aspect, if you don't have that presence on social media. It was something that when it started, I went to my agent about it, and he was like, it's a trend, it's gonna blow by. And then I remember we went out to lunch and we had that conversation. Then the next time we went out to lunch, he was like, Vince, what's going on with your social media? Like, you got to get on it. Like, this is the thing.
Yeah,
this
he
is
was like-
yeah, everybody. I was like, yeah, your story changed, my boy. From
You just had lunch last week. You said it's gonna blow over, bro.
Yeah, he said I didn't have to worry about it. I was like, okay, I ain't gonna post nothing on the gram. And then the next time, he was like, nah, you need to be posting regularly. Like, there's some agencies who, like, they watch their models and they're like,
Yeah.
you need 3 posts a day, and they will reach out to you if they don't see those 3 posts a day, because that's how important the presence is now. Yeah.
Because it's all marketing for yourself, right? So it's
Marketing
everything.
for yourself, marketing for them. So if you have a following and you have exposure, or the ability to expose yourself to a massive set of people, that works good for booking. Like when let's say Banana Republic wants to book you for a campaign. Well, they know you're also going to post the photo shoot, the behind the scenes, and you're going to post again the photos. You're going to post the team. You're going to tag Banana Republic. So it's
Yeah, so they're like trying to make sure that not only they're marketing, but the people that they hire, like they're marketing them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna, cause my question was like, how, like, an everyday like life as an everyday Joe, like, what do you, if you're gonna post 3 times a day, what do you post?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So you got to
exactly.
kind of figure it out.
Like every
Yeah.
day, like imagine
and
just
be
like,
creative.
I guess.
Yeah,
but then it's-
I like I said, I still feel that I'm not. I don't post. I'm old school model.
Yeah.
Like,
See, that's
going
what I'm
back. My
saying,
last
bro.
post
Yeah.
was like probably during COVID. Like I had all the
Few
time in
years
the
ago.
world. I was like, I could do a little video. I was like, after that, I was like, I don't
Little
got
selfie
time.
in the mirror.
Yeah. I was quarantined, so I was
Yeah.
that's what I was doing. But
What-
yeah.
What's your biggest piece of advice for people who want to go into modeling, and what's something that people don't expect?
Oh, okay. Biggest, again, just off of what I just said, actually, I had somebody who reached out to me, and she was asking me about, like, getting into modeling. And I was telling her, I was like, no, you really got to work on your social media presence. I was like, now, Mel's a little different. The industry is definitely a different vibe, so to say, than it is for ladies. That's like, it's definitely more strenuous. They make a lot more money than men. Like,
Yeah.
when I found that out, I was like, I'm hurt. Like, I was like, dang, that's how much you made off of that? I was like,
Yeah.
But it's the women that drive the force in it. So, but I was like, yeah, your social media presence, like, start there. If you're serious about getting into it, be serious about getting into it. Like, there are very few who get into it as a hobby and then they're able to, like, make some money, so it's something that you definitely want to dedicate yourself a little bit to, versus, just like, I scheduled this
Yeah.
photo shoot for myself and I kind of put together a portfolio. After you work on your social media presence, then start understanding that you are a brand. Like, it's not about being, like, so beautiful. It's about, like,
It's about thinking
what is your
yourself like a
identity?
business.
Yeah, and the business and stuff, and
Okay.
approach these agents like that, because, like, I don't know if we said it just now, but getting signed is like half the battle.
Yeah.
So it's that's not even the full scope of everything. So like once you get signed, a lot of models are, I've made it.
Yeah.
Nah, you ain't made
The
it.
work
Nah,
has just
the
begun.
work has just begun. Like get ready for it. So like you gotta sit
passed
down.
the interview, now
Yeah,
you-
yeah,
yeah.
Now you going on castings. Now you gotta understand what the casting directors are like, and you gotta win over the casting directors before they keep calling you in to present you to their clients. Then you gotta go see the clients. So you have a casting for the casting director, then you have the casting for the client.
So it's like interviews on interviews
Yep.
on interviews, and then photo shoots.
Yep. And then I think what they don't expect is the amount of no's you're gonna receive.
Okay.
You get used to being told no, and you gonna and like say all three of us was models, right? You gonna watch him get the job, and me and you both hungry, and both gotta pay rent, and we all friends. But you got to be willing to be happy for him because he got the job, and and you knew, because like you was like, hey, did you get a call back for that? And you're like, nah, did you? Nah, did you? Yeah, so I got called confirmed time on the shoot date. So, yeah, and like to some extent, I had there was a gentleman, Dominique, that I modeled with, and we both went back and forth on Gap campaigns. Like I remember like the first year, it hurt so bad because I was going to him. He made us late for the casting. He was a bad influence. Nah, just playing. But Dominic was a homie. He's just so chill about life. And so we were like late for the casting. Our agent was mad. We both were signed with the same agency, but they ended up it didn't bother them. He booked the Gap campaign, and I was like, what? I was like, but sure enough, the next year we went to the same casting together. They booked me. The year after, they booked him, and then they did it for 4 years. Yeah. And so we both were just like booking it, and that's kind of.
What'd you think of that Cat's Eye commercial?
Which one?
The Gap. Do you see that?
Nah, I didn't see it.
Oh man, it blew up all over social media.
Uh-huh.
It was that Korean singing group.
Okay.
And it was these 5 girls. They and then they did this whole thing to that milkshake song.
Bring all my boys to
Yeah.
yeah.
You seen it, right?
The
He was like,
throwback.
I wasn't gonna sing it.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second,
like-
what song we talking about?
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, but it was such a good commercial, and I'm not saying because of the women, but it was like the choreography and everything fit. So I wanted to see what your opinion was. Maybe I'll show you 2 on break.
Yeah, you got to show it to me on break.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing I do love about being in the industry is like, and being around creatives in general is like I've had the blessing of to be around like what the industry considers like the top of the talented, and to see like how their minds work, and a lot of the times the concepts are teams that put it together. So it's a blessing to be a part of. Like, I'm the model. I get to put the clothes on. I get to hear the concept, and then it's my job to go out and do it. But I'm like the icing on the cake, like the true cake, the batter, the eggs, the sugar, the all the ingredients that went into it was a massive team, and it took massive amounts of money. And that's like that's why like it's so hard to get in the industry, because people don't realize like you are the final point for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
Like, are you gonna make us millions or
Yeah.
not?
So they need to be like, is your look gonna return? Is your brand gonna return on this? Because when I saw it and I see it for the business that it is now, there's a lot of money behind it. It's a lot of money, a lot of talent, but a lot of money. Like the equipment, the lighting, the spaces you shoot in. If it's a travel destination, like they flying the whole team out. That ain't cheap. That ain't cheap.
So with all these different people and different positions of people that you've worked with, whose job do you think is the most underrated or not talked about?
That's a good question. Actually, funny enough, now that I think about it, it's the easiest, the stylist.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you one career I will never have. never. I guess because you got to have a passion for fashion,
Yeah.
But the stylist, it's not easy. So my first manager, he was a stylist, and so I would go and assist him on shoots. These people are pulling pounds upon pounds of clothes. Like, you have to pull different outfits, different pairs of shoes. So they're going to like what's called showrooms.
Yeah.
And they're asking to borrow their, like some of their clothes for like photo shoots and stuff, and it's repetitive. So then they got to like carry all this. Like if you go on set, like the stylists have bags upon bags of clothes and jewelry. You have to fully style the whole outfit and be ready for whatever like the art director's like idea that comes up with.
Yeah.
So it's just
Because you have to
it's
be
a
ready
lot.
for any idea.
Yeah. So they might be like, oh, he needs a watch. You better have like 75 watches.
Right.
Trying to figure out
You gotta
which
one
watch he's
matches,
looking.
yeah.
Yeah, he fits me. And then it's like, and models in different shoe sizes. And it's just crazy. It's just like a lot of work. So shout out to all the stylists in the industry and everybody who's trying to come up as a stylist. Because, yeah, that journey ain't easy. Yeah. Me, I just show up.
Right.
Yeah, so they're pretty underrated. But the beautiful thing about all of this is like, and actually I find this to be very beautiful. Thank y'all for having me. Is just to be able to open up the avenues for people who are interested from the Inland Empire. You know, because like I said, it's a different story if you said mom, cousin, somebody you know, best friend already does it.
Yeah.
You kind of know what to expect, you know, and when you know what to expect, you're a little calmer about it. You
Yeah.
don't lose it. You don't have many episodes of like losing it. You somebody there to tell you like, no, it's okay.
Yeah,
Homie was gonna get the
Yeah.
campaign over you. Yeah, that was. I want to tell you that was just the look they were going for this season.
Yeah.
You won't be the look they may be going for next season. So
yeah.
just go on and hang in there, take a breath. You didn't do nothing wrong. You're not less than. You know, I have that, but I would love to be that for the next generation of models and actors that are coming up. So
Would you ever want to be like a manager or anyone like that?
yeah.
He said, I inspired by
And you know what? I'm very much so what God's purpose is for me. You know, where I feel like and I feel like you get a essence of that and something that touch you and moves you, and then you follow that. Like you're gonna feel good consistently doing it. You know. The fashion industry, I have no shame in saying, it was for the check.
Yeah.
It was for the check. It was the money. Okay, I was like, they was like, oh yeah, a lot of people. That's why it's kind of hard when people are like, oh, what's your favorite? And the biggest check was my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
that's fair.
I was like,
Yeah,
the
you can't be
job
mad at that.
Yeah, I was like, the job
Yeah.
that paid the most was, hey, that was my favorite job. Like,
Right.
I could do that again.
Yeah.
But
You got people talking about you. This is a great model, this and that, and you're like, I get paid next Friday.
like, yeah, like, yeah. So, yeah, that's that. Yeah, that I don't want to necessarily do things where it's for the money, like I know what that feels like it's hard to stay motivated because also modeling's not easy. You have fashion week that you have to do, and fashion week unless you like top dog big model, everybody knows your name, like you break it even or going into a deficit because it's 2 weeks of nonstop castings. You're running from one casting to the next, sweating. Usually they're the most uncomfortable times of the year. It's either dead middle of winter or dead middle of summer. So it's either extremely hot or extremely cold.
Yeah.
You got bills to pay, and then you book a job. And some people, I don't know where the industry's at because it's been a while since I've done a fashion week, but it'd be for exposure. They'll be like, oh yeah, no, but like we're a big brand, so you're gonna be exposed, and they won't pay. Or they'll do a trade. There used to be trade, which I know my agency, when it worked with clients, they had stopped for a minute. They were like, if you only are offering trade, we're not gonna send our models to you. So they would be like, oh yeah, we'll give them clothes, and they were like, yeah. For me,
Is that what the trade was? Like,
yeah,
the trade,
yeah,
like the
yeah. So
clothes?
you walk in the show, and then they'll like let you pick out a jacket or a backpack or something. I was completely on board with my agency because I was like, yeah, my landlord is not gonna accept.
Yeah, no. Hey, I got this wallet.
Yeah,
No cash in it, but-
it's a nice leather wallet. Like, yeah, my landlord would have been like, yeah, you gotta go, bro. Yeah. So yeah, no, that there's the fashion week, and then afterwards you got your various different seasons within it that you have to go and do more castings. You have editorial season, like there's like a season where like most people are shooting their editorials and stuff, and that's big on that's when you're getting into magazines. So all of it kind of like the philosophy of my manager was like it all kind of like coincided. So you did shows to get in front of like everybody in the fashion industry, the photographers, the magazine editors, all that good stuff. And then from there you get into the editorials. Then the editorials help paint your image for the actual major brands.
Gotcha.
So then they could see you in their campaign. So like, I could do an editorial, and it's just like everybody coming together to create a piece for a magazine to get published. But it looks very on brand with Ralph Lauren, right? So now Ralph Lauren, somebody that works there is a reader of the magazine, and they see it and they're like, oh, this guy. This guy fits our look. Like we should call him in for our next casting. And then that's kind of how you scored the Ralph Lauren casting. You go in there, and then they're like, oh yeah, if they like your vibe, there's a lot that goes into it. And there's multiple heads that have to approve you. So it's not just one guy that makes the final decision. It's a whole team from the whole arching company. And then if you surpass all that, then you get the campaign. So yeah.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. I tell people, they be like, I want to be a model. I'm like,
no,
you don't.
No, you don't.
You just want that check, bro. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's like, you might want to be an accountant.
All right, you guys. It is 5 minutes past the bottom half of the hour. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. But when we come back, we're going to continue talking to Vincent and, just talking about his lifestyle. First half was obviously about his modeling, but I do want to branch off to get him so you guys get to know him a little more. So give us 5 minutes. If you're on the freeway, turn back around. If you're going home, use the restroom, come back on. Listen to us on kcaradio.com and or on the radio station, 165 and 1050 AM. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
When in dark, walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Early in the Civil War, General George McClellan's Union Army was poised for a decisive victory over Confederate forces. But, inexplicably, McClellan would not attack. For days, President Lincoln ordered and even begged the general to move, but nothing, so the Confederates slipped away. In firing McClellan, Lincoln wrote, "If you don't want to use the Army, I should like to borrow it for a while." That's what today's grassroots Democratic Party activists are saying to their aloof campaign generals who stay ensconced in Washington, refusing to deploy their ground troops in the field of battle. The great strength of the Democratic Party is its army of volunteer door knockers across the country who have the local knowledge, connections, and lingo to relate to local voters. Yet, in the past 30 years, fat cat donors and high-dollar consultants have taken over the People's Party and abandoned high-touch organizing for high-tech digital outreach. Thus, the Democrats' passionate army of local campaigners is unused, only called on by emails to send more donations to fund Beltway consultants and negative political ads. As a friend of mine recently said in exasperation, I wish the Democratic Party would stop asking for money and start asking me for action. This is Jim Hightower saying, well, change is coming, for the grassroots Democratic Army has been taking charge in many areas and mobilizing itself. And, in a huge advance, the party's new national chair and its new chair of state Democratic committees were both elected this month on a bold program to move the party's focus back to year-round grassroots activism. After all, voters aren't mere consumers of politics. They should be valued as the whole purpose of politics and its primary producers. The Hightower Radio Lowdown is made possible by you subscribers to Jim Hightower's Lowdown on Substack. Find us at jimhightower.substack.com.
You like to safely leverage bank money to earn double-digit returns, income tax-free, with guarantees and no downside market risk? How can you do this? This is Ference, host of the Your Personal Bank Show. 1. You fund a high cash value policy one time to earn dividends and interest. 2. Establish a bank line of credit using the cash in your policy as collateral. When you earn more in dividends from your policy than the interest the bank charges, you keep the difference. And the difference is averaged 2 to 5% annually in your favor for the past 40 plus years. 3, the bank funds contributions years 2 to 20 plus. Each year the bank adds funds, your rate of return increases. Your average rate of return can grow to strong double digits annually within a few years. Contact me at yourpersonalbank.com, yourpersonalbank.com, or 866-268-4422, 866-268-4422 for more info, or tune in to the Your Personal Bank Show.
Your Personal Bank Show airs Tuesdays at 4 p.m. right here on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listeners behind.
Hi, folks. It's Milan Vukovic from the Tahibo Tea Club. We just received our first shipment since the new tariffs, and because our tea is harvested deep in the Brazilian rainforest, we had to pay a 50% import tariff just to release it. Once we run out of our current inventory, prices will go up. Right now, you can still stock up at today's pre-tariff prices by calling us at 818-610-8088. 1 pound of original Pure Pau d'Arco Tahibo tea is $49.95, or take advantage of our multi-pack discounts such as buy 3 pounds, get 1 free. That's a 4-pack discount of 25% for $149.95, or buy 5 pounds, get 3 free. That's an 8-pack discount to 38% for $249.95. Stock up now. Call us at 818-610-8088 or visit TahiboTeaClub.com. That's 818-610-8088.
If you haven't been listening to TV Confidential, this is who you're missing.
Eric Braden, Anson Williams,
Burt Ward, Lindsay Wagner, Loretta Swit, Michelle Nichols,
Shirley Jones,
Louise Sorrell,
Sid Asner. A lovely, enchanting interview. Conversation, it wasn't an interview.
Well, thank you. That's what I try to do. I try to make this a conversation.
You made it.
That's TV Confidential.
Mondays, 2 p.m. right here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your co-host, Kyle Kerrigan.
And I'm your host, Sam Works.
And today, we've had a very special guest today. Very interesting. We have different guests almost every other week.
But this is a good one.
This is a really good one. No. Not,
I don't know about it.
No. Not in a bad way, folks. You definitely want to go back and watch the last 30 minutes, which will be on YouTube later this week, KCAA TV, and then look us up on our time slot, Sunday at 6. We've also had shows Sunday at 7 and Wednesdays at 4 when we were in our old studio. Real quick, I'm going to run through our sponsors, snjradio.com, no negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And Native Sons of the Golden West, Arrowhead Parlor 110, Preserving the Past, Building the Future. We had an electric 30 minutes with Vincent Von Harrington. He talked about being a model, started off in Atlanta going to college, dropped out to be a model in New York. And we were just talking about the Gap campaign that they did with Cat's Eye. So what'd you think of it?
No, that was amazing. That's the part that I do love. Like I said, I love being around creatives and artists and the big brands that have the money to like bring it all together. And the greatest thing that stood out to me was like how far the fashion industry has come, because there was so much diversity. From there were men, there were women in the campaign, they were all together. I remember one issue when I was coming up that my manager wanted to make sure that his male model stayed away from was that like when we did campaigns, we weren't just simply like arm candy to the lady model. You know, because if that was, it did nothing for our brand, because like nobody's gonna pay attention to us and stuff like that. So the fact that this one had like a whole squad of male dancers, they were equally killing it, equally had their moment. There's diversity across the boards. Everybody was gorgeous, of course. No, I can understand why it went viral. And then of course the K-pop group attached to it. You know, everybody knows K-pop. they got strong fans.
The marketing team knew what they're doing.
Yeah, they was like, yeah, you know what? Let's get a K-pop group in
here. I'm missing something.
So after New York, after you started modeling, what's next? What happened after that?
Well, like right now I'm in a stage where I'm revisiting. So one, it's giving back to my community. Like I'm probably a couple of my friends call me weird because I'm back in San Bernardino, and they're like, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to live anywhere else. And they're like, so you've been all over the world, been to different countries, different states, and you want to settle in San Bernardino? And I'm like, yeah, I like it here. But more importantly, though, it was my freshman year. We had a new president of our college. And what he tried to extend to us was being Renaissance men. So we were well-read, well-traveled, well-spoken, and well-rounded. Dr. Franklin. And then he said, once you get those gifts, he was like, don't just do nothing with them. You know, don't just serve yourself. He was like, take them back to your community.
Yeah.
And help your community, because you were that community. That community uplifted you to get you here. Now go do the next for the next generation. So now I'm back and I'm like dedicated. I like being involved. I'm back in school. I got ADHD, so I ain't never been able to sit down and do one thing.
That's our generation.
yeah. And on top of that, I was like, I owe apology to America because I think I contribute to the unemployment rate because I hold so. You can't get a job because I got 150 of them.
I think Sam and I had more jobs than that.
It's like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
You got to be a go-getter. So yeah, I enjoy being home. Like I'm back in school. That's one thing that I had the support of my godparents, and they were like, yeah, you know, college is always going to be there. They were like, this opportunity. Not so. They were like, the Morehouse was there before you got there, and it's going to be there long after you. So go ahead, go jump on this opportunity. It don't work out, we got your back. Come back, get back in school. So now I'm back in school. I love that I'm actually going to a college that's of my community. So I'm I'm at San Bernardino Valley College, and with hopes of going to Cal State San Bernardino after that, and then maybe UCR for if I do go full doctorate, it'll be at UCR. So yeah, and then just helping where I can, helping this community flourish. It's the Inland Empire as a whole is beautiful. Like anybody who lives here, we like y'all were saying, like, you know, there's a lot of beauty here, and there's more beauty than ugly. But you got to live here. You got to be here. You got to be here. Like if you don't know, like, and then don't nobody venture on your own, because we ain't gonna be responsible if you wind up in the wrong place. Like, but if you know somebody and you get the opportunity to come out and explore, you find out how beautiful it is.
It was actually crazy. I went to Mount Rubidoux one time, and I've been there, you know, a handful of times. But this one particular moment, I think it was like during spring. The sun was like going to, you know, set and everything. And I was climbing up this mountain, and it was just, the view was beautiful. Like the rocks and the plants around me were beautiful. I was like, man, I feel like I'm in a different country right now.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, why am I imagining me being in a different country? Like, why can't I just embrace that this is California? This is you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is the beauty here. Like, why am I, you know? I was like, wow. Like,
no, that's imposter syndrome.
No, it just took me a minute because I've always wanted to travel. I always wanted to see different places, see different things. And like sometimes like in my moment of time, like I'll just like imagine things in my head. Yeah. But then it's like I'm not present. You know, I'm making stuff up when it's like, wait, it's here. It's already here. I'm already here. This is already beautiful. Why do I gotta like make it seem more, you know? Yeah. And I was like, dang. When I realized that, I was like, California is actually like very beautiful. And I went to Arizona recently. I went to Seattle recently. I want to go to Colorado, but I was like, so far nothing beats California.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Are you originally from the IE?
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay, where?
In Yucaipa.
In Yucaipa? Okay,
yeah,
love Yucaipa.
Yeah.
And you?
I was born in Fontana.
Okay.
And I grew up all around, lived in San Bernardino, lived in Highland.
Fontana really changed. Like, since I got back home, I was like, okay, Fontana, come on up now. I was like, am I going to be hanging out in Fontana? I was like, okay.
I used to.
right. So, yeah, no, I'm proud of Fontana, honestly. Like, Yucaipa, I love Yucaipa. Y'all got Oakland up there, right? Yeah. Oh gosh, let me tell y'all. Like, if y'all ever out here, find your way to Oakland. Like Apple Riley's Farm. Yeah. They got the apple donuts up there. Go get you some apple ciders. Do they still got the petting zoo up there?
So there was a fire that happened.
Yeah, I heard about it.
The El Dorado fire. A lot of pets. Or
a lot of the animals.
Yeah, a lot of the animals, they had to leave there.
Yeah,
they couldn't bring them.
Got burned.
Yeah. So, well, hopefully they're able to build back, because like it's these little experiences that we have all over the Inland Empire, rim of the world.
When was the last time you've been up there?
I did when I got back home. I think it was but that was a couple years ago. So I'm 8 years back. So probably it was like 5 years ago was the last time I went up there.
I would say go check it out again because it has changed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They have like that big slide now. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and stuff.
Slide.
Yeah,
there's a huge slide.
It's on the side of a hill. You take a tube and you just slide down.
You can't miss it because it's like a rainbow slide.
Yeah. And they have like bars and stuff like that. And one of my favorite spots is actually, it's kind of funny because I used to smoke cigars, right?
Yeah.
And there's this place called the Tobacconist, and it's in this like a little like mom and pop shop that sells like little knickknacks and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's in the back. And then you walk through this shop, and there's a little coffee shop to the left, and then like the shop to like buy some things, and in the back is where the cigar lounge is, and it's outside, and they have like a huge like cellar, and you just go out there and you just with a bunch of people who are just friendly, you're just smoking cigars, you know, you're just hanging out. And I flew my dad out one time, and I was like, all right, this is what we're gonna go do. And before, like the last time I saw him, like, you know, I wasn't even 18, so like there's like no smoking, no drinking or anything like that, you know. And so when I flew him out, I was like, we're gonna go to this cigar lounge, we're gonna smoke a cigar, we're gonna play some chess, you know, do our thing. He's like, all right, cool, you know. And we went out there, and it was a beautiful day. I don't know if he was there at that time, but one of those nights, like it was snowing. You know, like smoking a cigar out in the woods in the snow, like it's a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, that's I recently went up to Big Bear, and I forgot.
A lot of that's changed too.
Yeah, it has, and it's gorgeous up there. It was gorgeous when I was younger. You can go into like summer camps up there and stuff. So I was just like, again, like out of all the places I've been, you can't. You get every place I've ever been to, I could get it right here. You know, San Diego kind of. I recently went to San Diego, and I was saying it kind of reminds me of like New Orleans. It's like a mix between like New Orleans and like Florida. Like if they were like combined, and then just like kind of. No shot at Shaw, but a little bit elevated. like that would be San Diego. And I was like, I get why San Diego's a vibe that everybody wants to go to, which is what, 2 hours from us, 2.5 hours from us. So you got that, then you got the desert, you got Vegas. Vegas is really close. So like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I should preface, we had family in Vegas. So I had 2 aunts that lived in Vegas. So that was like a regular trip for us growing up, was like we were going out to Vegas. And I still enjoy Vegas, not even from like the adult side of things. Like I don't like to gamble. I've gone to the clubs there, but I'm like past the club stage. But I like doing the same things I did as kids, where it was like go see the water show at the Bellagio, you know, the volcano show, circus. Like, you know, I like all the glitz and the glams and stuff, and taking trips out there to just see it.
And just people watch too.
Yeah, people watch. Go to the malls. The malls are ridiculously, weirdly gorgeous. The Caesar? Is it the Caesar where you're walking through and it's you're indoors but you feel like you're outdoors? It's wild. Wild. Oh, and small side note, lobster and waffles. I don't know if you ever had it. I have an agent out there, and there's actually a modeling scene out there too.
I believe that.
Yeah. And so I got to shoot for MGM, and TNG's my agency, and they got me the job shooting for MGM. And when I was stayed there, they put me there. There was like a little southern. It's called Nellie's Southern Comfort or something like that, or Nellie's Diner. And I went there, and they had lobster and waffles. And I wasn't trying to spend a bunch of money, but I was like, this is ridiculous. I've heard of a lot of things, but never lobster and waffles.
Yeah.
That is the best $60 I've ever spent. $60. So I'm saying, like, you better make sure it's your birthday. Make sure it's your birthday. Don't do it for no fun. Make sure it's your birthday, okay? I was getting a big check, so I was like, I'm celebrating. So like literally, like lobster and waffles was like, it was delicious. It was.
Because we all heard of like chicken and waffles.
Yeah,
so, like, lobster and waffles.
Lobster and waffles.
That's elevated.
That's some next level stuff. Shout out to Nellie's, because good Lord, yeah, but it was good. It was good. But all that's so close to us, like
I had a family. Well, I have a lot of family in Texas, Louisiana part, so I grew up with a lot of good food.
Yeah,
a lot of soul food.
Mm-hmm. I love.
And so I was just in Santa Barbara, like a month ago. And I'm talking to some locals, and they're like, yeah, you want some Cajun food? Go to this restaurant. I'm like, there's no Cajun food here.
Right.
I go, best Cajun food I've had outside of Louisiana, Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
I could get jiggy with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way these guys elevated seafood in this small restaurant. It was like you walk in, $13. I paid 3 times less in Santa Barbara than I did in Louisiana.
Dang.
So it's like, this is crazy. It blew my mind. But yeah, no, I'm going to Louisiana in February. So I'm telling all the people I know back there, I'm like, hey, you got some competition.
No, we need you to bring more of that out here. We need that. We need that. We have California isn't the most diverse place I lived. I'll give New York City that title. Like New York City is, the amount of cultures you could like encounter living in New York City, and the foods you could try, and they're authentic, and man, it's amazing. Like I give New York that. Definitely would love to see like California like come up on more of the like food diversity. Just we need. Come on, y'all. We ain't Texas. Y'all can move here. Now it's a pretty pity, but you can move here.
So you went. What countries have you been to? You went to Italy. That was your first one, right?
So countries, because I'm gonna start. I don't want to mess up and say cities when I'm on it. Yeah. So France was my first one. Paris, France. There we go. France was my first one. And then the place I loved the most, that if I had to live somewhere outside of America, it was definitely the UK. So I got to go to London. Yeah, and I didn't know why. Like everybody was like, it's gloomy here. It's like, why would you want to live here and stuff like that. I did my ancestry DNA and it came back that I was like 18% British. I was like,
I feel like I'm at home.
I was coming home. That's all that was. I was coming home to the UK. That's all that was.
It bumped up to like 20%.
So you start watching Braveheart. Yeah, you start watching Braveheart. And like,
freedom. That's hilarious. That's funny.
So is the stereotypes like the same out there, like in terms of like what people? Like, is it gloomy all the time out in the UK? For one,
I was attached to it. Like I like so the architecture is crazy. Like you're talking about like you got like there's gargoyles that like somebody like handcrafted out like in columns on like buildings and stuff. One crazy thing is I got picked up in a Benz. My agency sent a taxi cab. Most of the taxi cabs are BMWs and Mercedes Benzes out there, and I was like, wait, it was a nice one. So like Maybach level, like the seat reclined in the back and everything. And they were like, no, this is standard for us. I was like, that's wild. Like that's wild. So that's a good experience. But it has like, that's why the stereotypes get created. But it's like, there's like a certain beauty, like when I look at our mountains and our valleys, or as the season and the clouds are coming over and stuff like that, and they're changing, they go brown to dark green throughout the year. It's the same thing. Like the fog comes in and it gives you that, you think of like, what was that serial killer story they have? Jack the Ripper.
Oh, Jack the Ripper.
It gives you like a Jack the Ripper story kind of vibe. And if you're walking down the street in your trench coat, you're like, ooh, this is a little Jack the Ripper might jump out.
All into the barbershop.
It's just like, it's kind of like that. But then but their springs are like, feel like you're in a whimsical like kind of movie like Narnia or something like that. Okay. And I did no clowning on the UK, but for real, it makes you feel like as an American like you're in a movie of Harry Potter, because like that's literally how the kids dress out there to go to school all the time. So the model house
it's all uniforms.
It's all uniform.
Yeah,
and then they're speaking in a British accent, and I swear the only thing they needed was little wands, and I was convinced. I was like, I knew I was in Harry Potter.
You got gargoyles.
I was like, I was waiting for them to whip out the brooms and just fly home.
This is real.
No,
I do think it's kind of wild, back in the day, like everything was like handmade and like detailed oriented. Quality. And then now most of like, especially here in the United States, it's all like corporate, just like plain, just like flat, like, even the colors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they ain't nothing.
Everybody does the same style of architecture.
The craziest thing is McDonald's, and not to knock McDonald's, but you go to McDonald's, you're like, this is the play place I knew.
No,
Oh, let's talk about McDonald's. Shout out to McDonald's for being started in San Bernardino. But if you ever, I didn't have a lot of money when I was traveling. I was young. I was making my dream come to life and stuff. So a lot of my money went to my tickets and expensive apartments and in cities, major cities. So when I was going there, I was like, I knew back then McDonald's had the dollar menu. So I was like, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go find a McDonald's. Every country has a McDonald's, but every country's McDonald's is completely different. So the agreement they have is that they have to use local resources and so you get a different flavor of McDonald's that you've never tasted anywhere else if you're in Italy going to McDonald's versus you're going to McDonald's. I heard Japan. Somebody told me the Japan and McDonald's is crazy, like crazy good. And I was like, yeah. So it was fun to that was kind of my little fun experience that I had to do. Every country I went to, I was like, all right, where your McDonald's at? Because I got to try this. I got to see the menu. It's a different menu. I got to try it, taste it, and then you kind of also get the flavor profile of the local food.
Okay, so which country has the best McDonald's?
Oh, that's a good. So no, I can't do that yet because I told everybody that for me it was in Italy. I felt like one of the best burgers I've ever had was from McDonald's. But then everybody keeps raving about Japan's McDonald's, and I have yet to go to Japan. So I'm nah, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off till I get to Japan and test their McDonald's.
So basically, in the places that you've been to, Italy is on top so far.
For McDonald's,
yeah,
for McDonald's. My favorite places to go, probably not Italy, though. Probably not. They do have beautiful cities, and unfortunately, Duomo. That's a cathedral. I think Duomo was the one that burned down, if I'm not mistaken. That was a sight to see, the different architectures around the world. And the Seven Wonders and stuff is something that I wish American culture would adopt more of. And we would send our kids abroad to go see those things because they're epic and they've been around.
Because it's visual history.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure if that was a thing, then a lot of Americans would be moving out, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Well, you never know.
Probably, yeah, because it's. I mean, to me, all the places reminded me, there's no place that's better than another place. What I found out, it's not the place itself, it's actually the people. And your family. I did all this traveling by myself, and I had industry friends, but I didn't have my best friend.
Right.
That I could just we're having a great time together, So wherever it was, I realized it was about family. So yeah.
Okay.
Family and friends and ties. That's what makes the place.
Were there points in time where you wanted to go back home?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Really?
No. Actually, I kind of was enjoying this period. New York was rough, but I was determined not to let New York get the best of me. Yeah.
Who would you say had the most attractive people? Which
New York. Oh well, that's hard. I'm partial to the motherland. So I've been to Cape Town. Cape Town got some beautiful people. Where else do they got beautiful people? New York, but New York though.
What about Miami?
It's so diverse.
It's so diverse, and you see things you ain't never seen before, and you just oh, do I like that? It's making me feel I might like that. I was like, I might like that thing right there. Definitely New York. New York is phenomenal. If you could brave it, if you could do it, you got the energy, the stamina.
I heard that. I heard you have to it's not for someone who's just slow and just who just wanders. It's a fast-paced city.
Fast. And don't nobody care to leave you behind. I don't care if that's your rent, your social life, anything. They will leave you behind in a second. It's a dog-eat-dog city. Or as my mentor was a choreographer, and he from New York. He said it's the belly of the beast. He was he's the concrete jungle. It ain't no easy feat. So yeah,
that's awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to leave off with before we take off?
Yeah, thank y'all so much. Thank everybody who tuned in and listened. I'm here. I'm in San Bernardino. I hope to come back and with updates and news to give to y'all about my journey along the way.
Hey, feeling good.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming out so much. Appreciate it. All right, you guys, we're gonna closing up shop, but wait until next week. We're gonna have another guest every Sunday at 6. Just stay tuned. You're listening to Where It Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.
Every day can be a better day despite the challenge.
Listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM K2.